So welcome to Strata today. I'm Steve Anglicus, the CEO of Strata Results. And today we have the president of ANZCHAM in the Philippines, Mr. Daniel Alexander. Welcome, Daniel.
Hi, Steve. Thanks for having me.
So just for our audience here, can you tell us maybe what is ANZCHAM?
Yeah, sure. So ANZCHAM stands for the Australia-New Zealand Chamber of Commerce. And essentially we're the premier Australian-New Zealand business organisation here in the Philippines. So our mission is about being a highly effective organisation that visibly supports and promotes business relationships between Australia, New Zealand and the Philippines.
Fantastic. And how does it actually help companies?
I like to think we help our companies in three different ways, right? We help by connecting our members, engaging our members and promoting the interests of our members. So in terms of connecting members, it's all about creating opportunities for networking, exposure of their products and services. And we also assist in connecting and helping to build relationships with our members and various agencies or support organizations for those of us that are doing business here in the Philippines or Philippine companies that want to do business in Australia and New Zealand. Engaging with our members is all about creating opportunities for learning and development of our members and their employees, or our member companies and their employees. It's about participation in various sector committees that we have, events, participating in our DEI agenda, and we also enable companies to support us in our advocacy, which is around what's called Safer Kids, PH, and it's around raising awareness and doing our part to protect children from online exploitation and abuse. And then in terms of promoting our members' interests, it's about collaborating with various industry associations, the Joint Foreign Chambers, which is a coalition of 7 foreign chambers here in the Philippines. And we often represent our members' interests with the Congress and the Senate, particularly on legislation or policy that may impact the business environment that we're all operating in over here.
No, excellent. And you mentioned there's sort of over 300 members. What's the sort of volume of Filipino workers that the sort of Australian New Zealand companies are employing?
Yeah, so it's quite impressive actually. Australian and New Zealand organisations here represent about 55,000 employees across our membership. So it's quite significant. We're made up of about 350 members, and of that, there's 9 elected directors that represent the interests of the members. We also, it's a good point, Steve, we're also got wonderful relationships with Austrade and with the New Zealand Trade and Enterprise, and we get tremendous support and have great relationships with both embassies and both ambassadors for Australia and New Zealand.
Fantastic, yeah, excellent. And how effective do you think ANZCHAM's been sort of during the pandemic, where we sort of can't go and see people, can't have big forums, it's all virtual, it's all over Zoom or Teams? How is it reduced the effectiveness, do you think, of ANZCHAM?
Yeah, look, I mean, to be honest, Steve, I think that, during the pandemic, we've probably been the most effective we've been in a long, long time. And I firmly believe that we've probably performed the best that we've ever performed during the pandemic. So very early on, when we first started to go into lockdown and the pandemic started to create a big impact here, we pivoted very quickly and our priorities changed very quickly to focusing on helping our members stay up to date with the very fluid situation that was going on. And we basically assisting them with daily updates that went out, summarised, the various government updates, the embassy advice, lots of advice for foreigners and their business operators here. And basically, we were also the first chamber to really embrace the importance of self-care during this time as well for our members and their employees. So, very early on in the pandemic, we were the first chamber to essentially start running mindfulness webinars, mental health first aid webinars. We even did virtual yoga for our members just to help break that routine and help them sort of, mentally, equip them for what was coming with regards to, what we still are, in quite a long lockdown. And now, the way we'd like to think we're helping our members now is we've really shifted our focus to looking forward. So in 2021, this year so far, and we've got a lot planned for the rest of the year, but we've been focusing on running a lot of webinars that help people with creative thinking or innovative thinking, design and human-centered design webinars. And we're also quite active at the moment. In fact, we've got a HR series going on at the moment, a three-part HR series, which is focused on the transformation of the workplace and how our work will be evolving as a result of the pandemic. And then a little later in the year, we're running an innovation forum, Steve, which is, again, it's focused on what's next. So in terms of technology and what are some of the platforms or the opportunities out there for organizations to really adapt. We're bringing that to life next month, actually.
No, absolutely. There's a lot of play on areas that I think as organizations around the world that we didn't see the impact on mental health and what it would be for people just to be locked up in their homes, 24/7.
Yeah, exactly. You're spot on, Steve.
And it's really interesting because, those organisations, certainly in Australia and New Zealand, that are looking to expand their operations into the Philippines, the ANZCHAM is a very, very good way of being able to navigate, if you like, through the quagmire of politics and regulations, etc. So how can people actually join ANZCHAM?
So there's a tremendous amount of information on our website. So if you just go to anzcham.com, you can read all about us, all the benefits, all the different membership and sponsorship categories. There's an online membership form embedded in the website. Or the other alternative, Steve, is that you're very most welcome to just email membership@anzcham.com, and one of our team will be in touch.
Fantastic. Daniel Alexander, thank you very much for joining us today on Strata Today.
No worries. My pleasure. Thanks, Steve.